Hey, beautiful people, Wambui here. Welcome to Starting Over at 75 on Wambuimadeit. I'm on a mission to boost my income here in New York City, and you're along for the ride. Today, I'm showing you how I turned my digital stuck-in-my-head journal into this hard copy cutie, thanks to my trusty Cinch binding machine. Digital downloads were selling for pennies. A handmade book lets me charge more, and you get a ready-to-use journal. No printing, no fuss. Sure, I have to make it, pack it, and ship each one. But I love the process. It's fun, it's relaxing, and it keeps the creative juices flowing. Ready to see how it's done? Let's go! These are the things that we're going to be using to make our book. First of all, this is the Cinch machine right here. And we're going to be using double-sided tape. I have tools over here, which are wire cutters, scissors, and this is a weeding tool that will be very handy when we're using the double-sided tape. I printed out all of the pages for my book. For this book, there are 31 pages. And then I printed a cover 80% of the size of the regular 8.5 by 11 pages because I want to use this on the cover. So I've cut various papers. As we get to them, I'll tell you what sizes I was using. Now my book is 8.5 by 11. So I have two boards. These are not really chip boards, but these are a very heavy matte board. And these are 8.5 by 11, the same size as the pages for the book. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is cover these mats. We're going to cover them. All right. Now, I cut the papers. Let me show you what I'm using for the papers. I got these papers. Now, I've had this paper so long, I no longer know, but it's a book. You can get these books at craft stores. I don't even remember what the name of this one is because I've had it for so long. Let's see. But you can find these books. They're usually 12 by 12 inches, and they just have all sorts of papers in them that are 12 inches by 12 inches, which will cover just about any size book that you want to do. Okay, so I can't call the name of the book, but I think I got this at Michael's a few years ago. But you will find books like this, and these are great books to have because they have so many varied pages in them, and you just get one of these books and the sky's the limit. Okay, so that's where I got my papers from. Again, I'm sorry that I can't call the name. Okay, so I have a board. I've cut two pages that are 9.5 by 12, which means these pages are 1 inch larger than the board. And these are going to be our outside covers. So we're going to start with that first. So we're going to take the board, we're going to take one of the outside covers, and we're going to put it face down. And then we're going to take a piece of our double-sided tape, and all right, we're just going to put this double-sided tape in the middle of this page. It doesn't have to be straight or anything. We're just going to put it there. For now, we're going to put the tape. So this is going to be the outside of our book. Actually, this is going to be the front cover. And we're going to put it face down. I put this tape there because then this is where our weeding tool comes in handy, getting the paper up. I'm going to leave the tape there. Now, what we're going to do with this board is we're going to center it as best we can within this paper, which is 1 inch larger. This is 9.5 by 12 instead of 8.5 by 11. Center it as best we can. I'm going to just eyeball it here, and Once you think it's centered, just let it go, press it down, and we're hoping that that little piece of tape is going to hold it in there, stuck to this board. And then the next thing we're going to do is get our scissors, and we're just going to go around to each corner, and we're just going to cut off the little tips of each corner. Cut off the tips. Oops. Cut off the tips. All right, we're going to cut off the tip. We're going to cut off the tip. And we're going to cut off the tip. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're going to just fold these pages. We're going to fold them in on this board here. In, fold in. We want it to be tight and smooth, so we're folding it in, and we're going to fold this in. All right, now that we've done that, we're going to get our double-sided tape again, and we're going to kind of get it the length of each of these sides. We're going to put this on each of these flaps here and straight across, and we're going to go ahead and that weeding tool. Sometimes it's really difficult to get this paper off of the double-sided tape. So we're going to get the paper off, and then we're going to just fold this back over, smooth. And then we're going to go to the next side. We're going to measure, just eyeballing it, that we have enough for the length of this one. We're going to take this double-sided tape, and we're just going to lay it right here and press down. Okay, press. Get our tool to just pull up the paper, but we want to leave the tape behind. Okay, so there we go. And now we're going to take this and fold it in. Bring it in far, smooth. And we're going to do the same again. See about how much tape we need. And then we're going to put the tape on this edge right here. Press it down. Get the tool, pull the paper up, but leave the tape behind. And we're going to fold it in. Press. And we're going to do the same over here on the last side. Okay, so we got, go about right there. And we're going to put this along the edge here. Press. And we're going to take up the paper, but leave the tape. And over, fold, smooth. Okay, now this is our front, and this is the back of our inside. So this is the outside of our cover, the front cover. And now on the inside of the cover, I've cut these pages. Now these pages are going to go, okay, that's our outside. It's going to go on the inside like this. And to make this page look nicer and fit better, I made these pages 1/4 smaller on each side, 1/4 smaller on each side. So, which means that if we started with 8.5 by 11, now we're working with 8.25 and 10.75. Okay, and that's what we're going to put this just like right there. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the double-sided tape, and again we're just going to measure about the length of each side or end that we're going to be working with. So I'm going to put the tape close to the edge but not over the edge. Okay, close to the edge but not over the edge. And we're going to do the same all around this page. All right, so close to the edge, but not over the edge. All right, press it down. All right, and do this again. And one last one. All right, so now we have, I'm going to move this for just a minute so that I can press all of these, press on top of the double-sided tape. And then we're going to take our weeding tool and going to lift up. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go halfway and then fold that out like that. We're going to fold it down so that that's out like that. Then we're going to do the same. We're going to go, I don't know if you can see. We're going to do, let me do it this way. So we're going to do halfway, take the tape up only halfway, and fold it so that it's out like that. We want the tape to be out like that. And we're going to do the same for all the sides. Okay, pull up this tape, go halfway, and fold it out like that so that pattern, it doesn't matter. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to eyeball it again, and we want to center this as best we can so that it looks like an even amount on every side. It has basically the even amount on all the sides. Okay, and when you think you have that, then you're going to just let it go. And with these little papers still sticking out, you're going to let it go. You're going to press down like this, like this, like this. And now what you're going to do is you're going to pull this paper that's in there. You're going to pull it away and smooth it down. So like that. All right. So now we're going to do the same here. We're just going to pull this paper away and smooth it out. And then the same, smooth it out, and then smooth it out. All right, so now what we have is our front cover. Now for our front cover, what I wanted to do, and again, your front cover is up to your imagination, but I wanted to have a little border here, and then I wanted that 80% page that I printed. So I'm going to put this the same way I just put that together. I'm going to put this in the center of this little border right here that I want on the front of my cover. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to use the double-sided tape again. So we're going to put the tape down here, press it down, and double-sided tape over here, and near the edge but not over the edge. Okay, double-sided tape. I love double-sided tape. Okay, and I'm going to put it right here at the edge but not over the edge, and on this last side here. Okay, at the edge but not over the edge. All right, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to just press, 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 press. Okay, and okay, Now we're going to take our tool and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go halfway. Get the paper. We're going to go halfway. All right, like that. We're going to get the paper, leave the tape. And we're going to go halfway. All right. Paper. Halfway. And my finger wants to get stuck there. And then we're going to do the same here. And we're going to go halfway. All right. All right, so now we have these little papers sticking out. We're going to get our border sheet and we're going to, again, eyeballing it and until it looks like it's even on all sides, and then you're going to let it go, press, 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 and then pull and press down, pull and press down. What this does by having these little pieces hang out is that it doesn't allow everything to just stick at once in case you want to move it around. It gives you a little chance to wiggle it around without the whole thing sticking. All right, so there you go. All right, okay. Now, this is going to be on our front. So we're going to get this cover that we just did, which is our front cover. And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to put this right in the center of this cover, and this is going to be our front cover. So we're going to do what? We're going to get double-sided tape. Let's move this out of the way. We're going to do double-sided tape all around. I just find the double-sided tape is easier to use and is smoother, makes your project look smoother sometimes than when you're trying to use some type of adhesive or glue. The double-sided tape just is neater looking. Okay, and so this is what we're going to be doing. Using a lot of double-sided tape here for a little while. Okay. All right. And on the edge, but not over the edge. Okay. And we're going to press, 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 and press. We're going to get our tool, and again, we're going to do halfway. And you want that right there. Ooh. And halfway. Just the paper, not the tape. Okay, and we want that to be up there like that. And got that. And then we're going to do the same for this side. Pull up the paper, leave the tape. Okay, and there you go. All right, and so now we have this. This is our front cover. Again, it really doesn't matter which side is up or down. I guess you could just look and decide which way you like it. We'll go with this. And now again, we're going to eyeball it. Take your time, and we want to get this in the center here. So we want the same amount of space on the top and bottom. When you think it's there, top, bottom, and sides are even, then just press it down, 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 and then you're going to pull and pull and pull and Yeah, this one we're gonna pull. All right, now we have a front cover. This is the front cover of our book. So we're gonna set this aside. And now we're gonna do the exact same thing for the back. So we have our board here. We're gonna take, now as you notice, for some, I'm doing different colors. Okay, this is my back and this is my front, but I just thought that would be fun. Okay, so we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna turn it face down. I'm going to get some double-sided tape, and I'm going to, actually I'm gonna just put some double-sided tape here on this paper, like this, and then we're going to get the paper and leave the tape, and then we're going to put this in the center. We're eyeballing it, but we want to, once we think we have the same amount of space on all sides, press the board down. All right, let the board go down. All right, and then the next thing we're going to do is get our scissors. Okay, scissors, and we're going to clip. Now we don't want to get too close, but we do want to get, just leave a hair. All right, as we clip these corners, just leave a little hair there. Just clip, and we want to clip, and we want to clip. All right, so we've clipped our corners. All right, now what we want to do is we want to fold in. We want to fold it in, and then we're going to go all around and fold it in. We want to go all around and fold and fold, nice and smooth, nice and tight. Okay, and then we're going to go back to our magic double-sided tape and just kind of figure out how much you need for each end, up to the end, but not over the edge. Up to the edge, but not over the edge. And there we have it. And we're gonna go ahead and pull this now. And we're gonna fold in, bring it all the way in, nice and taut and smooth. And now we're gonna do the same over here. Let's see how much, okay, there. All right, and to the edge, but not over the edge. Okay, to the edge, but not over the edge. Oh, uh-oh. Well, good, as good as tape. It's gonna keep, all right, and we're gonna take off the paper and pull it in tight, 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 tight. All right, and now we're gonna do the same over here, to the edge, but not over the edge. All right. And press, press. Okay, pull up the paper, but leave the tape. And fold in, nice and taut and smooth. And do the same over here. And to the edge, but not over the edge. Press and get our tool and pull up the paper, but leave the tape. And now we're going to fold, 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 fold. Okay, now we're going to take our lining paper for the inside of this, and we're going to do just what we did before. We're going to double-sided tape on every side. Okay, double-sided tape. Okay, about like that. And okay, press, 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 get our tool, and we're going to take off the paper. And we're going to leave it. I'm going to go up to about a halfway and then leave it like that. We're going to go halfway and leave that paper like that, and that paper like that, and oops. Okay, so now we have our little papers hanging out, and we're going to take our back cover. You want it to have the even spaces on all sides. Then go ahead and press down, press down, press down, and then you're going to pull these little papers out and press. Go ahead and pull this out and press, and pull this out and press. Okay, so now we have a front cover. We have a front cover and a back cover. All right, this is what the inside of the covers look like. This is the front and this is the back. Okay, so we're going to put this aside for now, and we're ready for our pages. I'm going to do a little cleanup here, and then we'll come back and start using our cinch machine. Now it's time for the star of the show. We have our cinch machine here, and we have our pages. Let's see, we don't need the tape anymore. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the covers first. All right, so everything that we are going to cinch on this machine, we're going to do it face down. So this is our cover, so we're going to start face down. So I'm going to open this, and I'm going to leave everything just like it is. I'm going to leave this here. I want to make sure all of these little knobs are pushed in. None should be sticking out. And then I'm going to take this right up, make sure this is in, and I'm going to slide this right up to where it's at the back. I can feel it at the back here. So now my board, my cover is in the back here and flush along this little, can you see that? Oh, I almost flush along this little piece here that's on the side, okay? I don't know if you can see that, but okay, I'll show you that later. Okay, so you don't want it to go out any right now. You just want it flush in, and you want this flush against that and flush against the back, and then you're going to just take it and you're going to just push down. Push down. Okay, so once it's down, now you're going to let it go back up. All right, now we're going to go ahead and pull this out now, because we have, all right, so we have holes. We've started our holes. So this is an 11-inch long paper. So it says 11. You want to pull out peg 10. So this is 11 inches. So we want to pull out peg 10. I don't know if you can see. Let me show you what it looks like from this way. All right, so you see they have all these pegs here, and they're numbered. So it says that if I have 11 inches, the peg I want to pull out is peg 10. All right, so I'm going to put this down right here now. And now, but before I even pull that out, what I want to do is I want to go back over here in the next to the last hole. Not the last hole, but the next to the last hole on this page. Now we have to do this because this is long. If you have a shorter book or a small tablet, you won't have to do this. But for 11 inches, we need to do this. So we're going to go to the next to the last hole, and we're going to take this, and there's a little, let me show you. There's a little thing here that looks like a little clip that you can put your finger in and push it up and down, because guess what? You can push it up and down. So right underneath this, there's a little place that'll fit right into a hole right on this thing right here. And so what you want to do is you want to take your book, go to the next to the last hole, next to the last, and that's the hole that we want to put in underneath that little grip that's there, that little thing to fit into. Okay, yeah. We want to next to the last. All right, next to the last, not the last, but next to the last. And when you get it there, you're going to just push it in. And so now it's holding in that hole. It's in that hole. You want to make sure everything is flush up against the back. All right. Now, this is where you want to pull out number 10. You want to pull out number 10. All right. So number 10 is out. And now that we have number 10 out, everything is locked in next to the last hole. Now we're going to go ahead and push down. And okay. And now we're going to let up. Okay. And now we're going to let this little thing up over here. Okay. See that? We're going to lift that. And now here is our cover with the holes. Okay. Now we're going to do that same thing for this second set. Everything goes face down. So I'm going to put that over there. Now for the next one, what we need to do, I always have trouble with my machine pushing the buttons back in. First we want to push that in, and then we want to get number 10 back. Okay, number 10 is back. Okay, now we're going to, now there's some people that just go ahead and they do all the first part first, and then they go back and they'll pull out the peg they need to pull out and then do all of those. But I'm going to keep that in. Okay. All right. So we want to go flush up against here and flush against the back. Want to be all smooth against the back. And I'm going to pull down. Okay. And now I'm going to lift up. And now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull this out. We're going to go to the next to the last hole. We're going to put that next to the last hole in that little thing over here that fits into holes. Okay. Okay. All right. So now we want to make sure this is flush up against there. And we want to pull out number 10 again. And we want to push it down, making sure everything is pushed up to the back. Okay. And there we go. So, and we have our back page. All right, so now we're going to start with the pages. So I'm going to take maybe a quarter of these pages. You can do quite a few pages, but I don't want to have too many in there. So we'll have this. Just take some of the pages, and again with this end, do the exact same thing you did for the covers, and make sure this is flush against the back here and against this. All right. So, and then we're just going to pull it down. Okay. And then we're going to go to the next to the last hole. Put it in there. Make sure sure this is flush up against there. I'm going to pull out number 10, and here we go. Okay, and up. All right, so we have our pages. Okay, so we're going to put this, always go face down. So we're going to take the next group. Let's put you right here. We'll take the next group here. This in, put number 10 back in. I always have trouble pushing mine back. Ugh. I often wonder if it's because my sheet machine set for a long time without me using it. So I'm wondering if that had anything to do with it. Okay, so now make sure everything is straight. This is in. We're going to put this flush up against the back here, and we're going to pull down. And now we're going to this out. We're going to go to the next to the last hole, not the last, but the next to the last. All right, push it flush in, pull out number 10, and there you go. And there you go. Put this up. All right, and now we'll put you with you, and now we're gonna see if maybe we can do the next, and we'll do 3 more instead of 2 more. Let's see, yeah, we'll just go. And now we have our last set, number 10. Number 10, get back in there. Okay, now, all right, so now we're gonna put this the last of the book in, flush against this, straight against the back, and we're gonna pull down. We're gonna go to the next to the last hole, and all right, and we're gonna pull out number 10, flush pages even, and pull down. Okay, and now we have our book. We have our book. The pages look even. Okay, very good. You know what I did though? I forgot. I had these little words here that say, it says makes me happy, and I should have put it face down like that, but now makes me happy is going to be at the top. This is going to be a journal for me in any case. So, but yeah, so now it says makes me happy at the top instead of makes me happy. It's going to be at the top on the back, but in some kind of odd way. I like that. So this will be my journal, so it's okay. Now it's time for the cinching. So we're going to get our cinching wire. This wire is 5/8 inch. Let me see. Let me get the, we're going to take our cinching wire, and there's a fatter end and a skinnier end, and we want to take the fat ends and lay it down on these little holders right here. Okay, and then we're going to take our book, just like we want our book to be, and we're going to put it face up here, making sure every hole has a wire through it. And then we have that. Now we're going to take the cover, the front cover, and this is the front page, the first page in our book. We're going to put the cover down on the first page as it would be, as you would expect it to be. Now we're going to take the back of the book and we're going to put it face down on top. We're not putting the back in the back. We're going to put it face down on top of the cover. All right, make sure it's even like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take all of this off. And so we have something that looks like that. And now what we need to do is close this. That's what the cinching is all about. We're going to close this so that our book will stay together. So to do that, we're actually going to turn the cinch around. And now we're going to be dealing with from back here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to put it in up like this. Go in so that this opening is facing the back. And this wire, it has measurements depending on how big your wire is. This came out of a package that said 5/8 inches. So I've pushed it and I turned it. You can push and turn it. I have it at 5/8 inches because that's what they say this wire is. So we're going to hold it up and down, hold the wire like that, put it flush up against here like this. And I can't do the whole thing because it's too long, so I'm going to do this end first. I'm going to hold it flush here, and now we're going to push down on it. So we're going to push down. We're going to move it down, and we're going to do that again, and push down. Keep it facing and down, down. And then we're going to come over here and do this end. Keep it facing up in there, and push down. And now we've cinched our book, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this excess wire right here. All right, I'll come back and curl those ends in a minute. But now what I'm going to do is we're going to open our book. And there's our back. And remember I told you I had made that upside down. But here's our book. Isn't it beautiful? And here's our book. It's all cinched up. And so you look at the back and has a wire there. And let's see if you, okay, just wanted it to be a little rounder. Okay, so here's our book. Here's our journal. All right. And yeah, sometimes people, now I'm going to tell you what happened here. My printer started going crazy. So this is not a journal that I would put on Etsy or sell because it has some lines. In the lines, I had to clean the print head and then it ran out of ink, so I couldn't redo it. But so this is not something that I would try to sell. So I'll save this journal for myself, but I don't know if you can see the lines that are in. It's not a perfect print, so I wouldn't sell it. So I'm going to keep this for myself, but I just think it's beautiful. I love big font myself, so it would be something like stuck in my head. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should. What memories does this jingle bring back for you? Did anyone in your home smoke? Or do you remember catching this ad on TV? Write down your thoughts, feelings, or any memories that come to mind. So I'm going to say, my dad smoked. I don't remember ever seeing my dad without a cigarette in his hand. Easy, right? A cinch machine runs about $100. So try it for yourself or snag one of my finished journals in the Earth and Blessings Etsy shop. If you enjoyed this, please comment and subscribe. What jingle is stuck in your head? Tell me below. Next tutorial, a behind the scenes look at print on demand. Love ya.